Have you ever been to carnival or a Halloween party or maybe a masquerade? They are perfect occasions for abandoning our day-by-day reality and letting out our fantasies through whatever masks and costumes we choose. But what is your fantasy? Which mask do you like to wear? Wait a sec, what exactly is the difference between the reality and fantasies? I'm Cavalher. Let's say you are a professional working at some company. You go to work at 9, perform your tasks, go out to lunch, go back to your office and perform more tasks. At the end of the day, you go home, have a shower, dress up, and watch one of Cavalher's videos while you wait for your girlfriend. You two are going to dine. This could be a typical day in the reality you live in. I mean, a typical day in this reality you live in today. On Carnival, Halloween, or a masquerade, you leave all this behind and you put a costume on. Let's say a king. In reality, you are the professional at a respected company. In your fantasy, you are the king, right? Well, maybe. But let's analyze what exactly is this reality you live in. Who told you that you are the professional of this company and not the king or any other thing? There are only two answers for this question: yourself and other people. Probably both at once. At some point, you decided to study management, marketing, computers, or anything else in order to graduate and later look for a job. Let's say you have chosen management. But how did you know you wanted to be a manager in the first place? Of course, something attracted you to this career for some reason. A taste, a talent you had, or maybe the life of other managers. Independently of the element that triggered the process, at some point you imagined yourself following this path. All the reality you built from this point on came from this very imagination and decision. If you have gone to college, you had to convince that college, probably through an application, that you were qualified to study there. When you got your first job, the company or the client had to imagine and believe that you are a good manager. As your career improves, you must convince more and more people about the reality you imagined in the first place. The more people believe that you are a manager, the more real this reality is. But then, what is reality and what is imagination? Where do we draw the line? You can change your career at any time. You can even start over. Now, maybe you choose to be a priest. If you imagine this new situation, your reality changes entirely. Most people hold on to the reality they know. That happens because these people can only imagine themselves in that reality. Changing to another reality would force them to literally become someone else, an entirely different person. Most people can't fancy themselves as another person and are horrified of this idea. That happens because most people are 3D, and in the third dimension, the goal is to build a strong ego with a defined personality, meaning a personality that does not change, therefore lives in a reality that also does not change. Since reality changes very, very little as the years go by, they believe that the reality they see is the only reality that exists, and everything else is pure fantasy, a product of their imagination, if they have any. The reality of a 4D person is completely different. 4D people are in touch with their souls. The soul shows you parts of yourself you do not know all the time. Each time 4D people discover something new about themselves, they realize two things. One, the reality about themselves and about the world they used to believe in was a fantasy. For instance, let's say a 4D person believed to be 100% honest, and all of a sudden they realize they had been dishonest many times. It is now obvious that the perfect honesty they believed to have was mere fantasy. And two, with the new discovery they did about themselves, reality changed completely. For instance, when honest people realize that they are dishonest in many ways, that moralistic and self-righteous reality disappears and a new reality rises. A reality where people are honest, but they also lie, cheat, and are corrupt in many ways. Or you are going to lie to me, telling me that you have never lied? That is what a psychological processes designer like myself does. I put you in touch with your soul. Your soul shows you things that were unconscious for you, and your reality changes. A psychological process changes the reality, yours and the one around you. Reality will never ever be the same again. With time, 4D people have discovered so many new things about themselves, and the reality has changed so many times that they realize that all realities are possible. That is what wholeness is. In the fifth dimension, things are even more radical and reality even more unstable. In 5D, you continue to discover things about yourself and see your reality change. But you also learn to create yourself and create reality itself.